Welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett, and we're doing a little bit different. We're going to talk about Wizkids' second month of their Dungeons and Dragons Attack Wing organized play. We're gonna dive in and check out the prize that you'll get if you were to win one of the prizes for playing. So this month you get this cool dragon. Very, very, very cool item, and we're going to open it up. We're going to show off the figure and dive in a little bit. It's the brass dragon, so that's not to be confused with this copper dragon, which has already come out and is part of the basic game. But you know what? I pulled this out for a couple of reasons, because I wanted to, one, compare the two figures, and one immediately kind of jumped out at me as being really similar. Last month, so the first month of organized play, actually had this white dragon, which is really, really cool fig. I liked a lot. So we're going to first dive into exactly what the monster manual, how that describes the brass dragon. So in official Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons lore or rules, so the brass dragon is the most gregarious of true dragons. They crave conversation, sunlight, and hot, dry climates. The head is defined by a broad protective plate that expands from its forehead and the spikes protruding from its chin. Yeah, well, I think we're seeing that. Frill runs down the length of its neck, and its tapering wings extend down the length of its tail. Brass dragon wormling. This is wormling scales are dull, mottled brown. As it ages, the scales begin to shine, blah, blah, blah. Brass dragon engages in conversation with thousands of creatures throughout its long life, accumulating useful information which will gladly share for gifts of treasure. If an intelligent creature tries to leave a brass dragon's presence without engaging in conversation, the dragon follows it. If the creature attempts to escape by magic or force, the dragon might respond with a fit of pique, using its sleep gas to incapacitate the creature. When it wakes, the creature finds itself pinned to the ground by giant claws or buried up to its neck in the sand, while the dragon's thirst for small talk is slaked. Brass dragon is trusting of creatures that appear to enjoy conversation as much as it does, but it's smart enough to know when it is being manipulated. When that happens, the dragon often responds in kind, treating a bout of mutual trickery as a game. They covet magic items that allow them to converse with interesting personalities. They conceal their hoards under mounds of sand, regional effects, layers, blah, 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 blah. So, generally, it's got good armor, hit points, strength, all that. It's immune to fire. Let's see what else we got here. It's got a bite attack, it's breath weapon. It's used when the following breath weapons, either a fire breath or a sleep breath. So let's see and open it up and check out the figure and see how well it matches that description. So the big takeaways are they love to talk and they have a sleep breath. So let's see if this figure conveys that in any way. But let's first open it up and actually look at this unit to the game. So for those who don't know, Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing is a game by Wizkids. It is set in the world of Wizards of the Coast of Dungeons & Dragons, the classic role-playing game. In the game, you build an army of miniatures. All the figures have points, and you build your army based on the points. You can play scenarios, you can play one-on-one against each other, and go from there. So, let's first look at it. The description of the figure is pretty dead on. So, it's kind of got the spike underneath. We can see its wings are kind of match what it's described. They're swooping back, and they're really, really huge all the way back to the tail. So as far as adapting what has been described, it's pretty dead on. The paint of this one is looking pretty good. There's some some slight shading in the wings, which is always nice to see. Underneath, the scales are okay. They're not too impressive. But the sculpt overall is pretty cool. Actually, I'm really kind of digging this. So let's compare it to the dragon that comes with the game. I kind of dig the face. The face on this one, which comes with the game, is a little bit, I think, big for the body. But this one seems also a little bit small. So maybe this could have been a little bit bigger. But overall, this is actually a really, really cool sculpt. It's got some nice pose, and let's actually see what it's like on its base, so you can get like the full effect of what the figure is like. feel like you really can't judge a figure unless you see how it's going to look on a table. It's actually pretty cool. I'm kind of digging that. I think it's actually a very cool look. I like it. I like it a lot. But how does the unit actually stack up? So let's see what we get in here. So of course there's some, you get the items that you would expect, whole bunch of tokens, the base popped out. And oh look, what do we have? We have a token called Parlay. Parlay is talking. When you parlay with someone, you talk to someone. Kooky how the game seems to be reflecting the actual what the D&D book says, the Monster Manual says. So kudos to Wizkids for backing up Wizard of the Coast and using that information really, really well. So first, I think let's look at the dragon itself. So we get our usual two different versions. There's a 38 point and a 48 point. Kind of pricey. But this is pretty beefy dragons. Its movement isn't great at all. We're looking at a very kind of slow flyer. It can go forward 5, which is great. But as far as the turns, it's not super. There's a lot of white. There's a lot of red. You can get some nice banks, like really quick pivot and banks at 2 and 3. But overall, I would say this is it's a bit slower. It's not quite nimble as far as movement. And definitely on the ground, there's a whole lot of nada. Let's see here. As far as the lower of the two, you get 5 attack. He has 6 hearts and 2 shields. Pretty good for, I mean, it's a good amount. Looking through all the other dragons out, it's up there as far as attacks. I mean, there's a couple others. One that's a few other that are 5. Defense it doesn't have. So it's kind of like the silver dragon that's come out a little bit. Both are really similar as far as the number of attacks. The defense is the same. The hearts, this one's a little bit weaker, but there's also has less shields, and the cost is much, much less. And we're talking, this one's interesting enough is actually a point more than the silver dragon, and is a little bit less defense. But you can give them more actions. This is much less. This is 9 points less. You get less heart, so you know, compared to one of the pricier dragons that are out there, you can of course equip them with a whole lot of stuff. Overall, again, cool additions to the game. It's level 6, level 12. But let's actually see what else we get in the OP, the organized play. So let's go through some items. First, Flame Breath. So we had 2 breaths that we could do, according to the Monster Manual, one of which was the Flame Breath, and we see that as a Flame Breath. So you can use your primary value to make a separate attack. The cost is, you know, dependent on the actual figure. It's range 4. Creature in the line of range 4, ground or air, your forward arc, it penetrates armor. So kind of cool. Nice way to boost its attack. Cost of 2, Draconic Nature, Resistance. No player may place a sleep token or a paralysis token beside your creature. If any enemy's effect token is currently beside your creature, you may remove 1 sleep for the corresponding upgrade. Alright, we got Elven Ranger as a Dragon Rider. Must be a good dragon with a large base to equip. You upgrade and make a 2 dice attack against 1 creature at range 1 to 3 in your forward or rear arc. This is considered a primary weapon attack. It's a free attack that does not count towards your 1 attack for this round. So basically you're getting another attack. We're starting to see a lot more Dragon Riders in the game. If I remember right, the Silver Dragon also had a Dragon Rider that came with it, a human one, because Silver Dragons tend to like humans. We've got Parlay, again. dragons like to talk, so we've got Parlay. It makes a whole lot of sense. This particular dragon likes to talk. So this affected creature cannot attack... this affected creature... Oh, sorry. The affected creatures cannot attack each other. If one of the affected creatures is engulfed in another's area attack, that attack is immediately canceled. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. Must be a brass dragon to equip. So basically, you upgrade a target creature at 1 to 2 in your forward arc who is a lower level than you. Both you and the targeted creature receive continuous effect below. Basically, a nice way to shut down being attacked by someone. And then finally we have Sleep Breath. We went through the monster manual. It said they had 2 breath attacks. Sleep Breath is 1. This is a cost of 5. Each affected creature receives a sleep token. See reference. When this effect ends for any reason, you discard this. The cost is +5 for non-brass dragons, but it's a range 3 weapon. Sleep token. A creature with sleep token suffers the following. It loses all exhaustion tokens. If a flying creature receives a sleep token, immediately lands safely. The affected creature cannot move or plan a maneuver during the planning phase. The affected creature cannot change altitude, perform actions, attack, or nor can it roll any defense dice. As soon as a creature with a sleep token sustains damage, remove the sleep token. The creature may now act normal. We're seeing this a lot with some of the newer figures, is that they're really affecting other creatures and kind of screwing with their abilities to do actions, stuff like that. The other thing that comes with is Arcane Spell. It's a level 5 or better. You may choose the affected creature's actions and forms of attack this round. You may choose something that is ineffective or out of range if possible. The creature still chooses how to implement the chosen attacks and may still choose whom it will attack. When this effect ends for any reason, discard this card. So, cool item to basically screw with your opponents and get them to maybe waste attack. Could be pretty handy. Kind of cool. And then, of course, you get your participation prizes. We've got the Eye of Tiamat and the Eye of Bahamut. So this is a campaign artifact. The Eye of Tiamat, when you're attacking, you may discard this upgrade during the Modify Defense. When you're attacking, you may discard this upgrade during the Modify Defense dice step of the combat to choose a number of your opponent's defense dice equal to or less than the number of artifacts of Tiamat remaining in your legion. Including this one, you may reroll each of these dice 1 time. Cannot be equipped to a good creature. Number of artifacts of Tiamat in your legion are at the start of the game is the cost. The Eye of Bahamut, when you are attacking, you may discard this upgrade during the Modified Defense dice step of combat to choose a number of your opponent's defense dice equal to or less than the number of artifacts of Bahamut remaining. May reroll each of those. So one is Modified Defense dice, one is pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Alright, whatever. Cost is the number of artifacts of Bahamut. Cannot be equipped to evil creatures. So you'll be getting these if you participate, and then this is the big creature to if you win. So the things to know about these campaign artifacts. The Regalia of Bahamut. Any artifact with the word Bahamut in its title is considered an artifact of Bahamut. A player can include multiple artifacts of Bahamut in his legion as long as each artifact is equipped by a different creature. The artifacts of Bahamut feature the universal upgrade icon, which means that creatures can use any upgrade slot to equip it. And the same with Adornments of Tiamat, and well, yeah, the exact same thing is for the Adornments of Tiamat. So if you participate, you will get one of these as your prize. So overall, it's a pretty cool figure. I'm digging the sculpt. I really like how the wings swoop all the way back to the tail. It clearly matches the description in the D&D Monsters Manual. The actual figure himself, the creature itself, like what it has for abilities, what you can do for the upgrades, Fire Breath, Sleep Breath, Parlay, all that fits the flavor and text of the creature in the Dungeons & Dragons Manual as well. Overall, really cool addition. Again, another kind of pricey dragon, but, you know, it's called Dungeons & Dragons for a reason. So overall, you know, it's a cool, well worth thing. Plus, with the Organized Play 2, you should be able to be getting a blind box. We're going to be getting all the blind boxes. We're going to show off all the figures, go through them for Organized Plays. The first blind boxes that are released It's all like individual figures, really, really cool. The store I go to, I think it's $15 buy-in. That probably seems about pretty normal for most places. So not only do you have a chance of winning this, you'll also get one of these cards, plus you'll be able to pick up a figure in a blind box and add it to your force. The way the OP Organized Play Month 2 is working is you build a force of 90 points, and then with your blind box you build another 30 into it. So you're going to have to do a little math and some working live as far as your army. So until next time, I really appreciate you checking this out and checking out the latest release for Dungeons & Dragons Attack Wing, the OP2 prize, the Ancient Brass Dragon. I'm Brett, and this is Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. You can find us every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, and of course here at YouTube. All at Graphic Policy, we keep it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep it geeky.